Welcome to Business Talk, presented in collaboration with the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, from the heart of southeastern Ohio at the University of Rio Grande TV studio. Our goals are simple: promote the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, as well as advocate local small business and their support organizations. More importantly, promote southeastern Ohio as a wonderful place to live, explore, and learn. There are many different ways you can find us. The University of Rio Grande Cable Access Channel 17, live online at blogtalkradio.com, and on YouTube if you are unable to catch our show live. Introducing our co-hosts, Jason Winters, Mike Thompson, Patrick Dengel. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome back to our show. You know, Jason, this is sort of a great topic that we're going to be talking about today because there's a lot of unique kinds of coincidences that have occurred in the last couple of months. First of all, we have all experienced an individual that has been close to us that has passed on. And we as adults many times have a difficult time dealing with the particular feelings that we have. I know that you, Jason, have had 8 years as a...
I was in the funeral business. I had a funeral home for 8 years. But
8 years.
You know, once you're in the funeral business, you're never out of the funeral business. So actually, for the last 16 years.
And so you are familiar with the process of death. Well, the reason I'm bringing that up is the fact we as adults have to deal with the inevitable. Someone is going to, that we closely know each other, is going to die.
Mike, do you get the opinion that he's having a difficult time talking about death?
I guess it doesn't know how to approach it.
If we as adults had that problem, can you imagine what it would be like for children?
Yes, you know, a lot of times for children it's illogical. You know, they think about magical things, things that they believe that they did actually caused it. So they even have a more difficult time than we as adults in a lot of cases.
Yes, and that's going to be some of the topics that we have. Our special guest is Sharon Shull. Sharon is a registered nurse, director of hospice at the Holzer Health Systems. She started a program in which she brought 25, 30 different volunteers, in which they have a camp during the summer months, which they bring children ages 6 to 18
Yes.
together to enjoy themselves. But the one common thing is that they've lost something. And I found out whether it's just losing a pet
Right.
or losing a loved one. Sharon, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Sharon, why don't you start by just telling us a little bit about yourself? Where do you come from? How you got affiliated with Holzer?
Okay. My name is Sharon Shull. I am from Point Pleasant, West Virginia. I have lived there all my life. We won't go into that, how long, but 30-some years, I think it is. And I have been in the nursing field since high school, actually. I started out as a nursing assistant and graduated into LPN school. Then I received my associate and my bachelor's here at Rio and did my master's at OU. So I have just always wanted to be someone that could facilitate health and well-being and quality of life. So I chose to be a hospice nurse in 1999.
And you are a registered nurse and you have your master's.
Master's in nursing education, yes.
And I understand that you have 2 children.
I have two boys, grown boys. One is a director of pharmacy at Pleasant Valley Hospital, and my other one is a part-time college student.
Oh, very good. Very
So
good.
why hospice? You know, normally people think they go into nursing for the opportunity to save a life.
Well, to be honest, when I started in hospice in '99, I really didn't know that much about it myself. I just wanted a change of career and saw it advertised. And I thought, okay, let's try that in my nursing career. And I did, and once I got into it and seen the advantages of what I felt as compassionate care of taking care of the families and the patient in a holistic way, that I've been with it ever since. And I love it.
Let's talk a little bit about what is hospice.
Hospice care is for a person that has a terminal illness. Your physician has diagnosed you with an illness that is just not going to be in that curative stage anymore. So you have come to terms with that, and you have decided that you want quality and quantity of life, and you would like that nursing service to help you through those times.
And so can the family also live there, or is it part of the hospital?
Yes, hospice has 4 levels of care. You can be in hospice regardless of your ability to pay. We do not turn down anybody. That's why we have fundraisers and donations. But there is 4 levels of care. Routine care can be done in your home or in a facility. Inpatient care, that is when your symptoms need controlled in a hospital environment. And then we have continuous care that can be done in a hospital or in home, which is more aggressive symptom management by the skilled nurse, or respite. And respite care is if your loved one, your caregiver, if you're a caregiver and you're taking care of your loved one and you need to go away for a few days, we will take care of that person for you in a hospital while you're gone to give you time to get things together.
Well, that sounds like a great service.
Well, Pat, I've been on both sides of that. I've been as a family member, with family members in hospice care. Mm-hmm. And I've also been on the backside of that as a funeral director and seeing how hospice has impacted the family. They're there to serve the one who has the illness, and help them with their final days of life, but they do so much more for the family. I mean, they are just really angels the way they come in, and they take charge of the situation, and they guide the family through the inevitable, and they're just there for every need. And a lot of times you'll be sitting at the funeral home, and a lot of things that are said are wonderful praises for the hospice people that have come in. They've just become like family, and they help them through a very difficult time. It's a wonderful service.
Yeah, it sounds like it takes special people. And something that you recognized as a need, Sharon, about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going on your 5th year.
We'll be in our 5th year.
You've established a program for children.
Right. It is called Camp Beaver. It is a bereavement camp, as we were talking about earlier in the program. During my hospice career, there is other camps that I had recognized in Huntington and Columbus and places, and I thought, I think our community needs a bereavement camp for children. Their losses need to be recognized in a place where they can be with other children their age that have gone through the same thing. So what really brought it to a head for me was that my granddaughter lost her pawpaw tragically in a motorcycle accident, and at the time JC was only 8 years old. And everybody was grieving so hard for his loss and his wife that, you knew JC was there, but it was just, she was still playing with her dolls and things. Right. And she really needed us, but a lot of people weren't there for her. I mean, in that sense, because they were grieving so hard. So the name actually came from him, John Beaver, and Tammy Beaver, and my son helped support the camp. And we decided that Holzer sponsors it, but basically John and I thought that this camp would just be great for the kids in our community. So again, we will be in our 5th year. We hold it at the Ohio Valley Christian Assembly, which is up in Pomeroy, and it's a large church camp, but the facilities there are suitable so we can hold up to 30 children. And it's just a very good
Now,
Good
do you have
camp.
to be a certain denomination, certain faith?
No, that is
Okay.
just the facility that we use because it's large.
Okay.
We do not look at anything like that at all. It's just the age groups. We take from 6 up till 18.
So-
And it's,
So let's suppose that I have a grandchild,
right,
because all my children are a little bit older than 18 years old.
right.
But let's just suppose we have a grandchild that has had the unfortunate circumstance of losing a very close loved one.
Mm-hmm.
What is the process for encouraging that child to enter the program?
I, as a parent or a grandparent, I would just begin talking to the child that, hey, there is a camp where other kids your age, they've either lost a pet or a friend or somebody that they really, really care about or something they've really cared about. And you want me to get some information on it. We can sit and talk about it and see if you're interested in going. You would never want to force a child to go because, it may scare them, but we have all the information at our hospice, which I could give you the number when we're finished.
Okay.
But I think just, calling us or getting our brochures about it, or we have picture albums that we can show children. We have videos of the camp in the past years that we could also show the child to see what to expect if they're afraid to go.
What's the age range?
6 to 18.
Okay. And how long is the camp?
It's a 2-day camp on a Friday and a Saturday. And if we continue to have success, we may look at extending that to a 5-day. Some of the camps do because the kids, they're not ready to go home. Once they get there, that 2 days to them has flew. So they're like, can we not stay another day or two? And it's like, okay, let's try this maybe, but we'll see.
So tell us a little bit about what goes on at the camp. I understand it's really not counseling, it's more fun for the child.
It is. We have activities from the time they get there. It is free. There is no charge for the camp. But we have activities and structure, though, of just different, like, breakfast, and then you'll go to different activities. And then you have free time, which we have horseback riding, swimming, and then you'll do the lunch. And then we'll do different activities. Last year we made wind chimes and picture frames. We try to do things, memory books. We try to do things that are not sad, but yet it helps them to reflect on what they have
Sure.
lost. At night, we do campfires with weenie roast, s'mores. We have entertainment. We've had DJs. We've danced. We've sang. We just do anything fun. Swimming.
So that reflection time for the child is very important.
Right.
It lets them bring back and the memories, the good memories, as well as, some maybe not so good memories. So do you have counselors available if there's ever an issue with the child?
We have master social work and we have chaplains and nurses and adult volunteers.
Very good.
I know that when death occurs, the family members are very much involved, and it seems to me in school a long time ago, there were different stages that individuals went through
Right.
in a grieving process.
And children do too. The denial, isolation, the anger, the bargaining, the depression, and the acceptance. So, when we get a child, they may have lost somebody 4 years ago, and they really haven't reached the acceptance. But we may have a child that lost somebody 3 months ago, and they're in the depression. But we see children in all stages of this. And, we just deal with whatever we feel and whatever the parent has told us. We extensively interview the parent prior to the child coming so we can get a complete history on the loss and what has occurred and how they have handled it, so we will know, what to do with this child. And we do a complete medical history, again, with the parent or the guardian, and so we'll know
And it's my understanding that you have 25 to 30 different volunteers from the community
Yes.
that come out and join in the activities. Tell me a little bit about who the individuals are that usually volunteer.
Well, we have teens from the high schools. They love it. They come. And then this past year, I got a brand new volunteer, if I can say her name, Brenda Dillon. She's excellent. She's from Jackson, Ohio. And she is a school teacher. She saw our camp on our website, and she was like, that is something I want to do. And so Brenda gathered some of her volunteers from her church, and so it seems like every year we get new people involved that has heard about it. And I think as we grow, the community's even going to be more involved. So,
Is there anything you look for in a volunteer?
with the teens, we look at the responsibility of that that teen as much as we can. We don't want them to be under 16, basically, because it's not, we don't want somebody thinks that it's a place to come and play. It's a place where they are supervising somebody and watching them and making sure that they're okay. We buddy system. We make sure that every child has a buddy, and not that we hover over them, but you have to watch these children the whole time they're there. We're responsible for them. So just responsibility. Make sure.
Is there any particular time frame that you look at somebody has passed, within 6 months, a year, 5 years?
No, we once we start doing our marketing about the camp, the applications go out. We have went to every school. We've been out here at Rio Grande and to all of the grade schools, middle schools, and high schools. We leave the applications with the counselors at the school because they know what has maybe occurred and what's been bad. We do a lot of this type of thing, media, to let people know about the camp. And then the applications just start coming in and we screen them.
Okay, you have other volunteers, just hospice volunteers. What do your volunteers do if you're a hospice volunteer, not associated with the camp?
Hospice volunteer, they can, they can be with the patient if they want. We try not to put anybody with somebody that may be actively passing away.
Okay.
But taking flowers, reading books.
Sitting with them, basically.
Sitting with them, yes. Going to our long-term care facilities and getting involved in activities. And then also we accept administrative, such as coming into the office and filing and mailing out our bereavement cards and things like that.
Is there anything that you look for in those volunteers?
No, they have to go through a training, and once they get through the training, then we ask them what their interest is, and that's where we focus.
Okay.
Yeah, we need volunteers too, so if anybody's interested in volunteering.
Sure.
It's a worthwhile cause.
Yeah.
Going back to the camp, let's just suppose I'm an 8-year-old, and 8-year-olds, if they have not been to camp before, if they do not have brothers or sisters, sometimes it could be a scary thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens the first, you said it's 2 days.
It's 2 days.
And what happens when an individual, an 8-year-old, what can they expect at the very beginning?
Let me do a follow-up. 8 days, is it an evening? Do you stay overnight?
We stay overnight.
Stay overnight. So that can be very scary for an 8-year-old. Yeah.
Well, knock on wood, so far we've had one child that we had to call the parent to come and get. It was a little girl. But we just have so many fun things to do and good meals and good snacks, and it's just worked out that they've not shown any fear as far as.
So what happens when they get off the bus, if you want to call it?
We just the parent brings them in, and the parent stays there with them while we give them a bag and all the information, and we go to the nurse immediately, especially if they're on meds, and we let the parent stay for just a few minutes, and then they tell the parent goodbye, and then we just have the buddy system, and the buddies just start giving them their stuff and showing them where they're going to bunk, and
Okay, so the buddy would be a volunteer. Okay.
Yeah.
Not just another person coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so each individual then has
They have a
one.
buddy.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
Good. And you had mentioned horseback riding, and you had mentioned
We've
is it
done
swimming?
we've done the swimming, the rock climbing, horseback riding. Just so many different
And you
things.
probably have your typical campfire.
The campfires
And
and
the
hiking
right.
and treasure
It sounds like
hunting
a lot
and
of fun.
yeah.
And so if there are individuals out there that think that it's a bereavement camp, everyone's around there just feeling sorry and things of that nature, that isn't what happens.
No, and the feedback that we get, we try to do a follow-up around the Christmas holiday with the children. And most of them do come back for that follow-up. And we also send out a letter to the parent about 3 weeks after the camp. Tell us what your child thought of the camp. What did you think of it? And it's all been very positive that. And we do have returnees. We don't turn anybody down. We try to limit it to 30 because you want to make sure that you have enough, or you don't have too many that you can't get your point across. But we do take returns. We just don't so far have turned no kids away.
Now,
Okay.
you've only been doing this for 5 years. Do you have any previous campers that are now coming back as counselors or buddies?
No, but a couple of them are getting old enough that I think that'll probably occur within a year or two. Because I have probably about 5 that has been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one little girl, her story kind of sticks to me. She lost her horse about 3 months before the camp started. And, we make sure that it's just not a person that they've lost. It can be a divorce. It can be an animal. A pet.
I would imagine with divorce,
That's a
that
loss.
would be major.
And when she came, she brought a little toy horse with her. And she still carries that horse even though she's 5 years older. But it's really helped her. And I just feel that we've helped a lot of children in the community.
And the nice thing is that they are able to be with similar individuals who have lost. And so if the opportunity comes in, maybe they can share their feelings with their buddies.
Right, and a lot of them have stayed friends. They didn't know each other before the camp, and so they keep coming back, and they have remained friends too. So it's given them like a little pen pal, new friend. So
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And then the next day, I'm assuming is filled with many activities. Didn't you have a special activity you did last summer?
we do a butterfly release every year at the end of the ceremony. We just have a large basket of butterflies, and each child gets a butterfly in an envelope, and they come up and, we don't say anything, but they know in their mind what they've lost, who they've lost, and they open that little envelope and the butterfly flies away. So that's went real well too.
But didn't you also make something, a group? I thought you mentioned something about making something as a group, an activity or a project. I must be hearing things
Yeah,
again.
you're hearing things. Or either I'm losing it, no.
This sounds like a wonderful opportunity for kids in our area. How do they find out more about the program?
I would have them call the office. Like I said, we usually don't start marking it too early because we're afraid that people will forget about it. I think it's going to be on our website more, which would be www.holzer.org, and then you would go under hospice, and then that'll be all about the camp. I think they're revamping that, so there'll be more information year-round. But we try to start getting the word out about the camp as early as February. And that's when we go to all the schools and all the counselors and put it in the newspaper and do media type things.
Oh, very good.
Or they can call our main office at 740-446-5074.
Okay, so the camp goes at a particular time of year. It's not all the time or every week or every month or something.
No, in 2014, it will be June 6th and 7th, I believe, Friday and Saturday.
Okay, so once
We've
a
already
year?
set that date, once a year.
Okay.
But now we do a follow-up, like I said, just a little follow-up with the families in the fall.
So who paid, do the children or the parents pay for this?
No, this is free. They get a T-shirt to wear at the camp, and everything is free. Every activity. I wrote 2 grants and was able to get the grants, and one of them was from Chad Pennington that played with Marshall and NFL. He has supported the camp from the beginning. And then.
So how did Chad find out about it?
We just knew that he was into giving to children's activities. And so Linda Lester, which is over the Holzer Foundation at the hospital, she said, it isn't, what are they going to do, say no in this little community? But he didn't. He very well endowed the camp. And so we have used him for the past 2 years to help with the cost. And then the community has been excellent to us. Jeff Walmsley from Point Pleasant has donated his time and did all of our shirts. We get donations from just everybody to help with the expense of the camp, and that's how it's paid for. My son endows every year.
So do you do organized fundraisers for the camp?
No, we haven't done any fundraisers. We just send out donation letters to our past donors, and then that has just brought in new ones too.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that is excellent. Does someone cook the meals there?
Yeah, they have really good food too.
Yes, you're not allowed to volunteer for that.
I know. No one will let me cook
The
for
staff
them.
at the staff at that camp up there is excellent, and the food is good, and we give them snacks, and we don't take away pop. A lot of these kids, they're used to pop at home, so why would you take it away? So no, we don't let them have it all day, but we let them have a soda once in a while. So we treat them just like they would be treated at home.
Would you want to talk a little bit about the respite care that you were talking about? Because I know, I've had family members that other family members have taken care of long term, and that gets to be an ordeal or very draining. So,
Well, under hospice, there is a level of care called respite, and you can Medicare or Medicaid or anything will allow you to have 5 days of that, and we can put the patient in a facility so that family member can have 5 days rest, or if they need to go out of town, or if they need to prepare for funeral arrangements, or if they just need to lay down and rest. That's what your respite is. Because hospice isn't a service where I can put somebody in the home for 24/7. It just isn't structured like that.
no, sometimes you just need a break.
You need a break.
If you have an older person, sometimes their clock gets messed up. And, you're up at all hours of the night and day, and so sometimes you just need a break.
Right,
So that, I think, is worth quite a bit.
right.
So you're saying that Wanda thinks I'm in respite? Wanda's my wife.
Yeah, she will probably put you there for 5 days.
Care to share anything else? We have about 1 minute left, but
No, except that, hospice is about quality and quantity of life. We do not hasten death. We are medically directed by physicians, and medications are prescribed by physicians. And, I just feel that hospice, we get late referrals, and then the family's like, I wish we would have had them earlier. Now that you've known me, be an advocate for the program, whoever you talk to, and if you can make a referral, and then we contact the physician. So, just keep in mind that this type of care is for a person that needs it at the end of their life.
okay. Well, Sharon, I really want to thank you, thank your staff and Holzer Medical Center and Health Systems.
Well, and thank you for the commitment to the youth of
Yeah.
the community.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you. Enjoy
We
it.
really appreciate that. And if anyone in the listening audience wants to get in touch, it's very easy to find. Just Google Holzer, and hospice, and you will find a lot of articles on there. Again, Sharon, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next week, we have Alexandra Kressler. She is a State Farm recruiter, and she's going to talk a lot about some of the insurance needs and things of that nature.
So do you have all your insurance needs up to date?
I found out we're supposed to buy insurance. I'm just joking.
Oh, we don't want to go there.
You mean health insurance? Is that what you're talking about?
Life, health,
Oh.
home,
Auto, home.
Ah.
Funeral.
Funeral.
absolutely.
We'll talk afterwards.
Okay.
But she's a great individual.
You have been listening to Blog Talk, Business Talk, with Sharon Shull. We
And-
thank you for listening. I'm Jason.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Sharon.
Thanks for listening.